Thanks for your company. The details now. The latest HIV surveillance report by the Ghana Health Service has identified the newly created Bono region as the region with the highest prevalence of the virus. The region has a prevalence rate of 3.4, followed by the Greater Accra region with 3.2%. The 2019 HIV Sentinel surveillance report examined more than 25,000 samples of the infection across the country. Public health specialist Dr. Isiado gave these figures at a news conference in Accra a while ago.
You will say that we have dropped from 2.4 in 2018 to 2%. However, you will be misled if you think we are doing well. Look at what is happening in terms of new infections. If you take a 10-year trend analysis, it shows that prevalence is increasing in the country, which means that we need to do something different. If you take the 5-year trend also, recent, is even increasing at a higher gradient. And this analysis has been done for all the other regions. When we get there, I'll skip that because I think it reflects the same pattern. And if you look at the age groups, these are the changes. We can say that there is a drop in the age group 15 to 24, but the trend remains that there is a slight in Greater Accra is increasing, almost plateau. Volta region, you can see that the gradient is bigger. Western region, you will see that it's also increasing. Central region is where we are noticing a declining trend. And we are seeing the same with Eastern region. Is just where it is, but it's not where it is at 0 point something percent. It's at 3 point something percent. So it's just remained where it is, but at a high prevalence. If you are talking about 2.0 for the national prevalence, and they are operating around 2.8 constant, there's something wrong. It has to come down. Blood Ahafo is increasing now. You will notice that in this trend analysis, Northern region is increasing. It used to be one of the regions where it was decreasing. And in this trend, you can see that 10 years is increasing. And Upper East region is decreasing, Upper West is increasing, and so on and so forth. Now, why is it that we have 16 regions, but I'm reflecting only 10? Because it's trend analysis. And we don't have, it is only in 2019 that we had the 16 regions. So we don't have their figures, the same trends from the previous years. And the circumstances say that you can't just go back and extrapolate. So we are still giving trend analysis for only the 10 consolidated regions. As we repeat this survey and we continue, we can be able to give you 2-year trend, 3-year trend for all the 16 regions. And so by location, you can see that the urban prevalence is higher than rural. And so you can see that when you check the urban site, Agomenya in the eastern region used to have a very high prevalence, and we are noticing a significant decline, in Agomenya. You are noticing also some changes. Mamobi is increasing, and Bolgatanga is increasing. Now, going forward as a program, we don't want to be general. If you want to achieve epidemic control, we have to be looking at district and smaller areas and target interventions for those areas. And that is why we are separating this data. If you take the rural sites, there are some increases in some places like Fantiakwa, and then we notice Sefia Safu dropping, even though it was the second. In terms of trends of the subtypes, it's been the case conventionally that type 1 is the highest. We wanted and we wished that the type 2 was going to vanish completely, but it is not, because it has implications for our treatment. So what about syphilis? Syphilis prevalence range from 0 in Adabraka to 2.4 in Agomenya.
Now, the National Road Safety Authority is calling for increased enforcement of safety regulations in the face of increasing road carnages. The authority says despite the impact of COVID-19 on the transport sector via lockdowns and border closures, current data on road accidents reveal a growing trend. Here's Senior Manager for Programs and Planning at the National Road Safety Authority, Henry Asumeni.
Yes, because if you go to the licensing authority, you don't get data on commercial motorcycles because there's nothing like that. So the only commercial motorcycle activity that you have is for the courier services, which is regulated by the Ghana Post and other regulatory bodies governing that sector. So there's no statistics to show that we have this number of Okada on our roads, or that we see it. We see that we see a lot of motorcycles on our roads. We presume that most of them are Okada, but there's no statistic to back that claim that there are a lot of Okada riders. So we can't get statistics to show the involvement of Okada riders. We would only get statistics for motorcycle riders.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know if I am.
I get the clarity you're trying to establish. So why haven't we enforced that section of the Road Traffic Regulation 2180 up till now, so that we don't come to the situation or the point where we don't know the numbers, even though the DVLA records or registers motorized cycles?
Okay. I don't know if you see, but the police from time to time does a lot of enforcement in this sector, where sometimes they do a swoop and they arrest people who are perceived to be using the motorcycle to carry fare-paying passengers. So it's an area that is enforced, but maybe it's not adequately enforced. But I think that it's an area that the police have been doing swoops on, and sometimes they even arrest and seize motorbikes perceived to be doing that activity. But then there's a conversation also going on, which happened from last 2 years, where some people were calling for the legalization of this activity.
Away from the Ashanti region, residents of Keta and Angola in the Volta region are calling on government to redeem promises of improving water supply to them. President Akufo-Addo is expected to cut sod for a water project in that area. But ahead of that, residents who spoke to JoyNews on their expectations of the president's visit, say that they want the Keta Harbour to be constructed, as well as the deplorable roads there resolved.
For this government to fulfill for us as a citizen of Angola is the harbour project that is being proposed. The project has been promised for a very long time now, since the time of the NDC, but it has not been started. But as at now, since the NPP has taken it upon themselves to start it, my expectation is they should start it and complete it for us. And if they should do that for us, we'll be mostly grateful for the NPP government for doing that.
My expectation is to see the fishing harbour that is so promised.
Okay. And what else?
And then the Keta harbour.
Okay.
Harbour.
Okay. So are you happy about?
Not at all. Not the least.
Wow. Why are you not happy?
Promise. If you promise something, you must see to it that you do it. As it will be difficult for us to take his words.
So you had some residents there. Our woman on the ground, Ivy Setoji, joins the show. Hello, Ivy. What exactly is the problem with water supply in Keta and Angola?
Well, so in the Chester municipality, Anyako, to be precise, has been having water problems for so many years, and it's still like that. The residents from that area who are also here to welcome the president says they want that water problem, especially Anyako in the Keta municipality to be solved. And also a road in Shime area in the Angola district also to be constructed, because those roads are in a very deplorable state. And they are also asking government that they should do construct the Keta Harbour Act. So these are some of the things the residents are expecting from President Nana Akufo-Addo today when he comes to visit them.
And he's expected to cut short for a water project. Can you give us more details about that?
Yeah, so the president is expected to cut short for a water project that will have solved water problems in the surroundings. That's in Agodome in near Dabala in the Southern district, and he also inspects some vocational training schools in Toko, also in the Angola district. So the president is cutting short for the water project to begin immediately. We are told this water project is going to solve water problems in both Keta and Angola and in South Tong and its surroundings.
Thank you very much. Ivy Sataji is our correspondent in the Volta region.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Daryl Kwao. New data from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center shows total value of projects registered by foreigners for first half of the year witnessed significant increase. It reached $317 million from 68 projects registered with the center. George Rafe has more.
In 2019, the total value of projects registered by foreigners with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center was valued at $123 million for 72 projects registered. But when you look at the numbers again, it revealed that in 2019, it recorded 4 more projects compared to this year's figures. However, in monetary value, the 2020 numbers were far better than what we recorded in 2019. But could it be the last year wasn't just good for the country in terms of attraction of foreign capital, or let's say the coronavirus impact on the economy wasn't that bad in terms of how we attracted foreign capital to Ghana? Well, the data from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center showed that in 2017, foreign direct investment inflows to Ghana stood at $4.9 billion, but it showed a decline in 2018 to $3.3 billion. The decreasing trend continued in 2019 as flows further reduced to over $1 billion. According to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, based on how the numbers are picking up as at the end of June this year, this is an indication that the outlook might not be bad and things could be improving strongly post-COVID-19. When you look at the total investment for the first half of this year, it reached over $681 million, far higher than what was recorded in 2019. According to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center's COVID-19 survey, which engaged foreign businesses operating in this country, some of them indicated that going forward, they see a reduction in their workforce, while some will pursue vigorously the work-from-home policy. Some businesses engaged also wanted further reduction in taxes for manufacturers and tax exemptions on capital expenditure.
Now, food processing and packaging firm Samba Foods is expressing worry over the inability to acquire raw materials from farmlands for production. The company, which was the first indigenous firm to list on the Ghana alternative market, serves mostly the fast food companies, but it says the increasing number of middlemen in the sale of farm produce is a major challenge. Chief Executive Officer Letitia Osafo-Addo spoke to Joy Business after presenting the company's 2019 financial performance to investors at the Ghana Stock Exchange's Facts Behind the Figures series.
Samba Foods recorded an impressive performance last year with a growth of about 60%. This is as a result of the installation of a new machinery at the factory. According to the CEO, Letitia Osafo, her outfit has depended on the market for capital since it listed on the Ghana alternative market. Speaking to Joy Business, she expressed worry about the impact of increase in price of raw materials on its operations.
Things were actually moving. The only thing that was hampering our production were the cost of the raw materials that had escalated last year. But that is with all agricultural products. You know, sometimes they are in season, other times too they are not in season, and it becomes very expensive. Yeah.
What's your relationship with the farmers in getting some of these raw materials?
As I also explained, at the moment, due to storage capacity, we are unable to go directly to the farmers. We have to depend on middlemen because the volume that we are buying is not that much because we can't store it. But once we are able to get enough storage capacity, we'll be going directly to the farmers, give them contract farming for us to produce all what we need for us.
She has also been speaking about the expansion of the company with the presence of a new factory.
It's an urgent need of expansion that is relocating to our own land in Tema, where we want to build a customized real food factory that will encompass the laboratories, the proper storage facilities, and of course to house everything. So we were thinking about the building and equipping a modern state of the art food processing facility. On our we have about 3.5 acre land in Tema. That's around the Accra-Aflao motorway runabout. All the feasibility study and drawings have been completed. The project is yet to be awarded once funds become available.
Samba Foods is also requesting support from government to help alleviate the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on its business.
And there's a full bulletin of business news at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Up next, sports.